It's been a little bit over a year since I recorded this video about the condo crisis in Denver, and I wanted to fill you in on what's actually going on. Is the market getting better? Is it getting worse? What can you do about it? Is it a good time to buy? Is it a good time to sell? And we're just going to lay it all out there with all of the stats because last year it was fairly alarming. So if you're a condo owner in Denver, you're gonna want to listen up. And again, my name's Alex. I talk about real estate. I talk about lots of things real estate. And if you want to as well, you can call me, you can text me, or you can scan this QR code, get my weekly email, and get the best information that you can get on the Denver real estate market. Okay, so getting right into it, let's just look at supply and demand. That's what all markets are driven off of. And start with how many properties are for sale. We're looking at active currently that you can buy, doesn't matter price point, condos only. And this is what I'm considering the downtown area. And just within this nook here, today, currently active on the market, we have 319 for sale. Okay, fine. That means nothing. 300 for sale. We sell 4,000 homes a month in the whole Denver metro area. So that's 10% of the inventory that we close every month. It's active for sale doesn't sound like anything. We got to benchmark that off of something. So we're going to look at how many are currently under contract. 37, right? 300 plus for sale, 37 under contract. Not quite 10% of everything that's active is under contract. All right. Is that good? Bad? Well, we'll take a look here. And closed in the last 6 months is 159. So divided that by 6 months, that's 26 properties a month are being absorbed and closed. Okay. That's where we're going to start. So let's back this up a little bit. And we're going to start with a bigger picture for how many active listings have been in this same exact map. Okay, these are the stats straight from the MLS. For September is the last month with data. We've got 330. As of September 2024, we had 263 compared to over 300. So 60 more, 30% more inventory than last year, approximately, for sale. Okay, well, how does that compare? If we're closing that many more, maybe it's not such a big deal. So let's look at how many are actually selling, right? And it looks like we're trending downwards. So in September 2024, 32 closed compared to 24. So 8 less, but at this rate, that's 25% difference. So let's look at the next stat, the median close price, right? That's what everybody wants to know, whether how many are selling or not. Doesn't matter as long as prices are, staying flat or going up. And this is where it gets a little bit tricky because we have the tail of many, many markets in the Denver market. Everything's neighborhood by neighborhood, and in downtown, it's literally building by building, depending on how many are actively for sale. So we can see in September 2025, we were approximately 580,000 as our median sales price. And in September, we were 517,000. So I can make the case that we are actually up in value by 60,000, almost 10% in median close price. But if your place is on the market right now and you got a condo in downtown, that's not what it feels like. Tale of two markets, right? You own a condo at 300,000, you own a condo at 900,000, right? Which one is going to sell faster? Which one has more buyers? Our instincts would say, well, more people can afford 300,000 than 900,000. Duh. But here's what I want to say. You're actually wrong about that. So the place for sale at 300,000, 2 bedroom, 2 bath condo, that's 1,000 square feet, right? HOA payments are high, $400, $500, $600 a month for not many amenities. Older building, painting a picture here in downtown Denver, right? Cool kind of spot, close to bars, restaurants, all that good stuff. But you could rent that place for 2,000 a month, $2,200 a month, good condition, $2,400 a month, right? You were to buy that place, putting 5% down because that's realistically the buyer pool for that price range. You're going to be borrowing, 275,000 plus on this place. After the HOA dues, taxes, all that stuff, your monthly payment is going to be $2,800 a month, $3,000 a month, $3,200 a month, depending on how much you're borrowing versus how much you're putting down and the price point and all that stuff. So what we're seeing is that it's actually cheaper, much cheaper by about 25% to rent than it is to buy. So that buyer pool has made the decision, nope, not going to buy, doesn't make sense. Can't say that I blame them. Where if you're buying an eight, 900,000 $1 million condo, you're more flexibility, more of the offers are at a cash level at that point, more retirees, things like that. Totally different buyer pool where interest rates don't affect them nearly as much. And so a lot more of that inventory is actually moving and a bit more desirable than the stuff in the low price points in the Denver area. And then here's your big number on what's driving the prices right now and the days on market, which is purely supply and demand and how many months of inventory, which we're sitting at 14 currently within this map that I drew. A balanced market is said to be between 4 to 6 months of inventory. Anything over that is more of an extreme buyer's market. And we're sitting at 14 currently. And compared to last year, we were sitting at approximately 8 months. So compared how many buyers there are to sellers, we have 50% more inventory than we saw last year. So what's going on with the condo crisis here in downtown Denver? Well, it's continuing. HOAs are getting more expensive as insurance becomes more and more of an issue. A lot of these buildings are aging and they're needing large special assessments. With some clients I had earlier this year, we were looking at properties and we saw one unit in particular that needed up to, I think it was a $30,000 special assessment per unit. And there were 100 units in this building. They had massive plumbing updates that they needed to do in order to sell any of these properties. So when you have your choices, you're looking for a condo up to $800,000 and you've got dozens that you can pick from. And some are really well updated and some are not. Some are motivated to sell and have been aggressively dropping their price, and some have not. And some have special assessments and some have not. You can narrow that list of options down from 50 to 5 real fast and know, hey, any one of these 5 will do, which is a different dichotomy than what we saw a couple of years ago, where nothing was for sale. And so you go in and it's the only one that's going to work for us, honey. And if we don't make an offer on it now, it's going to be gone by tomorrow. So we better move. And you made a decision based on what was available. Now we have buyers having a lack of decision because there's too many things for sale. And so, going out with my buyers, the listing agents are calling me, hey, how's it going? You provided good feedback and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, they're interested and this is great. But there's 6 more that they want to see over the next couple of days. And one of those 6 might be better, might be nicer, might fit their needs more. And then they just kind of wait on things and go, well, they're all pretty nice. And these are like 90% properties, meaning you're never going to find 100% that fits everything you're looking for: price, condition, location, everything. But 80% is usually enough to get people to submit an offer. And now we're seeing 90% properties, and they're still going, well, we're going to kind of wait and watch. So, what to do with this information? If you're on the buy side, it's a great time. I've had many clients this year take huge advantage of what's going on in downtown Denver because opportunity doesn't present itself all the time. When others are fearful, you should be greedy. When others are greedy, you should be fearful. And I've had several buyers really take advantage of that this year, get big seller concessions, work price drops, property that was for sale, last year for $200,000 more, getting it under, for yeah, literally $250,000 less this year compared to last year within the same building. Working around their timelines, being able to think on things, having inspection objections, and knowing that the seller is going to have to work with you on almost all the items. It's an interesting scenario. If you're on the sell side, you have to look the best, you have to present the best, and you have to be the best price to be able to sell within the next 30 days. You have to be priced. If you've got 12 units for sale in your building ranging from 600 to 800,000, you better be in the lower part of that price range and you better be looking good if you're gonna need to sell. Other than that, you might be sitting on the market for 9, 12, 16 months. I've seen many of these go off the market, on the market, off the market, on the market, just through this vicious cycle. So again, if you have any questions, just want to talk, shoot the shit. My name's Alex. I talk about real estate all day, every day. Here's my phone number. Call me, text me. I actually answer. Or just get my weekly email to stay literally up to date on the best information that you can get about the Denver market. And if you're considering moving here and wondering what's going on, I really want you to watch this video because there's a whole lot of misconceptions about Denver that I think you need to know.